All right, I'm trying to make these levels a little hotter without getting too hot. You'll probably hear more breath sounds here because I've got the mic like shoved up my nose. So I'm gonna start from the human head just to have some tutorials in our that I created that you can follow along with. So I'm starting with the human head. I have it set for. Let's pull this up here. You see the tools a little bit better. I have it set for display smooth shade wireframe. That's this these little blocks, and you may want to get rid of those or not. And that's it. That's a and lighting. So I have some of those. You can see what I've got turned on here. I'll just show it. Okay, so I want to start by maybe bumping up. Shift D bumps up the number of polygons, and but I only did that once. I can see it here if I click the drop down. There's the basic head. There's the just the mesh. I guess that's level 0, level 1. So and I can use if I have my number lock turned on, I can use 3 and 9 to move up and down, and maybe you can see 3 is lower and 9 is higher on the polygon count. So I'm going to, I think what I want to do is I want to maybe smooth out the nose, and I think I want to take these eyes and put them well out on the sides, kind of a hammerhead shark idea. So I noticed that I think maybe what I want to do is scrape. Scrape will only delete the or push down things that are pushed up, right? So I can make this a smaller brush. So I just get this nose, and let's see what I'm getting here. Scrape. Oh, want to make sure I'm not using a stencil. This is, yeah, that's more like it. I think I was using some kind of stamp or stencil. So that it's worth noting that that stuff sticks around if you're using a stencil or a stamp, and we'll look at that in a bit. Let's look at this from the side. So I'm just scraping everything down. There we go. To a kind of flat or flattened plane. So scrape only gets highlights. It takes the high points and pushes them down. Scrapes them off. And then I'm going to use grab. It's time, I think, to and maybe I should have done this before, but it's time to turn on the mirror. So I might have should have done that previously, but now I've got it turned on, and you can see I've got 2 little dots. I'll make the brush bigger. Oops. Brush bigger. And I'll pull down the strength of the brush. So that's B for size of the brush and M for, and then let's just see if I can't, yeah. So my idea is to kind of pull a lot of this head out. Let's get some of this in the, yeah, okay. Kind of goggle-like, but I can pull out some of this goggle. There we go. Yeah, and get right in here and brush size down a bit. I could go back a few steps, and maybe that would be smarter. But I don't mind fooling around with the options, because I sometimes discover things I hadn't really thought of doing before. So and I get some, some surprises. So something like that is kind of what I'm looking for, maybe. Maybe even more of that. So let's just grab a big old chunk. Yeah. And then I think I want the chin to become kind of more snout-like. Not exactly what I had in mind, but again, I'm not above being surprised by results and then choosing to go with them. I'm not. I think this is worthwhile to talk about here. There are two kinds of ways of working as an artist. I mean, there are more than two. But a very common belief, I think, is that people have is that an artist has a specific idea and then works to create that idea, and has a very clear vision in their mind, and they continue to work on a project until their vision is matched by what they see in front of them. The other opportunity or path or template is to work iteratively. Now, I brought that up in a slightly different context. So, for instance, I'm looking at this. I'm going to work iteratively. I brought it up in a slightly different context by talking about saving. And let's just save this thing now. It'll give us a chance to talk about that. So if I say File, Save Scene, I can give it a place to live. So I'm going to call this, I think it's already doing this iteratively. But I'll get rid of this for a second and just say, I want this to be called Diver. He looks a bit like a diver to me. And so I'm saving it in the My Tutorials assets. Fine. And now, as I continue to work, I think I'm going to try this. I'm kind of thinking maybe less of a snout and more of a kind of gas mask look. So I'm going to take the scrape tool and just flatten this. And so I like that. I'm going to save this iteratively. File, increment and save. Control Alt S. And so I'm going to use Control Alt S now, not rather than save scene as. I'm going to say increment and save. And now I'm getting Diver 0001. See that? So the next one will be Diver 0002. So I kind of like that flattened look. I might push this in a bit. So I'm going to use Grab and hold down, I think it's Alt. Nope, that's Move, huh? Control. And that allows me to push in. Rather than pull out with my grab. And where's the strength in this? It's low. I'll put it a little higher. So I'm working iteratively in another sense. I'll save this. What was it? Control, increment and save. Control Alt S. So I'm going to just use the shortcut from here on. Control Alt S. And now it's Diver 0002. So this makes it easy. And it kind of illustrates that other people see this as important, right? A possible way of working, iteratively save. I'll just push this in just a little bit more. So that's Control. I'll pull the brush down. And Control, and I'm using Grab. So I'm just pushing in a little bit more. And I kind of like this kind of a skeletal, mechanical look. Maybe I'll push up on this chin. So again, Grab with Control. No, I need a bigger brush. I'll undo that. And so yeah, it's like a it's a like maybe part of a mask, not an organic face, or maybe I can make it more organic as I go. And then what was it? Control Alt S. Okay. And now it's diver 0003. So I'm working iteratively by saving this way, but I'm also, what I'm doing is I'm looking and I'm saying what I like and what I don't like, and I'm working on the things I don't like and emphasizing the things I do. And I don't really have a vision except that I thought his eyes would be further apart than human and that his nose would be gone. And so as I work now, I'm just working to find new exciting possibilities. So I'm going to make these eyes more circular. I'll get, let's see here. I think I'm still going to use the grab tool with control, and I'll push in. It didn't make it more circular, but I really like what it's doing. So I can make the grab smaller, the brush, and try it again here. So I'm just kind of seeing what I like, and I'll undo things if I don't like them, but I will consider all these possibilities as I work. So I'm going to, there's bulge here. I'm going to try what bulge will do for me. Wow, crazy. The strength is way high. Okay. Now, I'm getting pinched polygons, and I really don't want that, so I'm going to undo. Maybe I'll make these much smaller. Here we go. Wow, bulge is crazy. I'm going to do something else instead. I'm going to add wax. And then I'll smooth it down. And smooth goes here. And I'll make it fairly weak. Maybe a little bit stronger. Not really seeing much difference there. Oh, smooth. Yeah, I'm using smooth. There we go. And then maybe I'll use knife. And I'm getting pixelized. I'm getting kind of a pixelized effect here. I can see right in here. So that means I need more polygons. So I'm waiting until I see that before I add more polygons. So Shift D gives me more polygons to work with. And I'll make the brush bigger, maybe. And I think I'm still getting them. Notice I just switch back and forth depending on which is like easier to reach what I think I want to do. So I will try smoothing this again. Nope. And then I'm gonna bump up the polygons. There we go. So I'm getting these shapes in. I'm almost done here with this tutorial. Oops, I wanted to smooth. I think I wasn't smoothing before. I was using the knife still. I noticed that clicking on these things doesn't always take every time. So be careful of that. And I'm smoothing now for sure. Yeah, and that looks much more like what I was thinking I should be seeing. I'm not sure what to do about the ears, but maybe I'll just scrape them off, huh? So you can see them in the polygons, but if I go up here to display and get rid of the wireframe, this is what the clay surface looks like, and so I might just scrape a little bit more. There we go. Just to kind of get rid of the structure there. And then maybe I want to kind of pursue this as the back of the jaw, so I will get a I'll get a sculpt. I haven't used that yet. And I'll bring this down and the strength up a little bit. And I'll use control sculpt because that will cut in. And there it looks like I am using some kind of stencil. So I'm going to undo this here and just try this again. There we go. So with control here, I'm pushing in. Yeah. That's a lot. And maybe this is too big here. Okay. So what I'm doing is I see a little fold or something there, and I think, okay, you know what? I'm going to kind of emphasize that as the back of the jaw. So, and then I will smooth out the ends. The ends of this little canyon I've carved. Wow, it doesn't seem to be smoothing nearly as much as I think it should. There we go. And then maybe the back side of this. I'll bring this down. Oops. Brush size. I still don't know what end does. I'll put a bounty on that. I'm going to put a couple of bounties on things. I'm going to do it in class today so people who miss class won't know what the bounties are, because I think that's fair. Bounties are about innovation points, but they also, I'm going to kind of give them an element of so there I'm just kind of creating a I'll kind of push this in a bit. So with grab, control, that didn't seem to do what I thought it should. Try it again. I didn't really expect this structure to emerge here, but I kind of like it. There maybe gills are going to go here, because I do kind of think of this guy as a kind of a diver. He's an alien. Maybe he needs gills to breathe, in an atmosphere. So if I kind of want to emphasize that, I can use the grab without control, holding control, and just pull this out a bit. And I'm kind of getting structures that I hadn't thought of. And so this is an iterative process in another sense, that I am finding things I like, and I'm not planning it ahead of time so much as I am looking at what I see in front of me and asking myself, is this, is there anything cool about this that I might want to pursue? So I have this kind of smaller and smaller spots here. Lower and lower in terms of their being raised above them. I think I'll scrape this one down just a little bit. Yeah, so that they're lower and lower each time. So there's some kind of thing going on here. Oh, and that makes me think that the back of the head should come out a bit. So I'll grab it. And I want, again, a non-human kind of feeling. So maybe there's a kind of ruddery feeling here. I'm going to try pinch, which I hardly use because I don't really know how to describe what it does. So let's see if we can't use pinch here. I want to make it pointier. I don't know if that's really working. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking of. Yeah, so a little pointier nub on the back, and then we'll use grab again, and a smaller grab, and kind of create another little nub right here, kind of like these. So this is like maybe he's got an extra kind of spinal structure, and that makes me think, okay, well then let's actually create that. Oh, that's too big, I think. He's got an extra kind of spinal structure like we don't have, exactly like we don't have. And it has a kind of paired structure. And again, I didn't plan that, but as I'm doing it, I think this is cool. So I don't know how far down I have to go, but I will make a few more of these. And let the work decide as it goes. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm doing some large structure stuff, and this is the end of this tutorial.